Hey guys, welcome to the POS Podcast. Today, Jim and Saber are with me. Say hey, hi.
Hey,
Hey,
hi.
hey,
Um,
hi.
Tom is not here again, but this time it's because he was in the hospital over the weekend.
He's
So,
got
send your
cancer this
condolences
time.
on Twitter. Uh, he's back home now, but yeah, he was in the hospital over the weekend.
Feel better, Tom.
I'm glad he's not still in the hospital.
Yeah,
He got out
Oh,
pretty quickly.
yeah, that's good. I hope he's okay.
yeah.
So he gets
Yeah, I
from
saw I saw him post on Twitter. He had a couple of books that he got.
the hospital gave him books.
No, I think he bought them.
They were
What
prescription books.
prescription
Read
books.
this.
They gave him like a book he'd like. He goes, "Oh, thanks." And here's chicken soup for the teenage soul, because you need it.
Because you need it. It's good for you.
I could imagine his face when he got that one. And then he'd find out it's not even in the original. It's like Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul 4.
Jim, I gotta say it's good hearing your voice because I was marathoning your videos pretty hard
Oh.
on Saturday night, I believe.
Oh, whoa, thank you.
Like I was I don't know, like I got off work, everybody was busy or out or something. And I'm like, that's when I remember I tweeted out that night, like I wanted to watch movies because I was watching all your videos and I was like, damn it, I really want to watch a movie right now, but I can't because I want popcorn and I can't eat popcorn right now because that would like just destroy my diet. And it was, what I do instead, I went to the store and got sushi and turkey jerky.
Sushi and turkey jerky?
Yeah. So I was eating that stuff while watching your videos. I'm like, with chopsticks. I'm like, Jin the Hog Arms was a pretty shitty movie.
Someone actually made a fan art of, because I think I said they should have just called it Jerkface and the Stupids.
Yeah, jerk face and the
I saw
stupids.
And
that.
someone made a poster of Jerkface and the Stupids.
Yeah,
With
that was
my
like
pic.
way back. But like before the movie came out. It was like one
Oh,
of the
did I
Pizza
say
Party
that?
podcasts when you said,
Oh, is that when I said
yeah,
that? See, I say things and I'm like, it was on something, right?
yeah.
Someone made a thing, so no, thank you, Saber. I kind of want someone to draw fan art of you eating sushi and turkey jerky. Watch.
One thing I love so much about your videos is just how like streamlined they are. Where it's like, hey, it's Jim. You got that like deep, hey, it's Jim. I'm like, I can always count on it. It's always gonna be there with this like squiggly line intro. I love it. I don't know. Like there's something about your videos that are just so like yeah, this is what I want. This is what I'm getting. I love it.
Oh, thank you, thank you,
So I'm
Saber.
just flattering you right now. Paleo,
Thank you.
Paleo, you suck.
Oh.
No, I was watching his videos too.
Ouch.
So
Well, speaking of Jim's videos, let's start with Spectre, which I have not
Oh,
seen. Uh,
oh,
but
okay.
it's the what, the 24th James Bond movie or whatever?
Yes, you were right. You were right.
Yeah.
It is the fourth, and the fourth Daniel Craig.
Yeah. How
Well,
many James Bond does an actor do before they stop being James Bond?
um, well, he is signed this. There's a lot of complications in it, but he's signed for five, and the record of official bonds is seven with Roger Moore. But then Connery did six official ones with the producers, Eon Productions, and then he did a non-official one, which is Never Say Never Again. So Connery and Moore are tied for playing James Bond in seven movies. So if Craig wanted to tie it, which I think he's good enough to, but I think he maybe should hang it up at five. So,
Hmm.
but if he does five, he would be in second place because Brosnan only did four. So right now he's tied with Brosnan.
Oh, okay.
So, um, but yeah, it's. I
Somebody
mean, the
says I
thing
look like Q from Spectre.
a little, but not really. Not really. But no, it's the thing with Spectres is just kind of like I saw it actually again yesterday with my wife, and she was like, "Yeah, it's a Bond movie." That's kind of like it's not. If you know the series, I think you'll like it. But
Yeah.
if you just watch the Daniel Craig stuff, I think you wouldn't because it's moving more towards silly Bond and less serious Bond. But
Yeah.
don't if you haven't seen a Bond movie, I would not recommend it.
Mm.
But if you know Bond, I think you. I mean, I was fine with it, but I know a lot of people really hate it, and I'm not. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not. I wasn't as down on it. I was originally a little worried, and then after it, I was like, oh, that was fine. I mean, there's two rules with Bond movies: is one, they're a reaction to the previous one.
Mm.
Even if the previous one was really good, they'll react to it. And the second thing is it takes in everything that was popular between the movies. So this is MCU um, and J.J. Abrams, basically. Not that they do that well. I think in Skyfall is more of the Christopher Nolan uh, kind of influenced one. And I think they actually do a better Chris Nolan movie, I think, than Chris Nolan's done in a while.
Yeah.
So I, it's exactly what I expected it to be, knowing those rules. And if you don't take those into account, and also fourth Bond movies are bloated and way too long and never as good.
Oh.
Since I reviewed all the fourth Bond movies, so so yeah. But if you have an open mind, I think you'll be into it. But if you expect it to be like Skyfall, it's not gonna do
Yeah.
that.
Isn't
But
it? Isn't it like the least rated um a Bond movie from Daniel Craig so far?
I've heard that, but to be honest, like I think Quantum of Solace is his worst one. This
Oh.
is probably see the thing is with Craig is he peaked. He's had two all-time Bonds in his run, which is pretty damn good. Like with Casino Royale and Skyfall. So, um, Brosnan only had one real good all-timer with Goldeneye. But a lot of them, it's hard to have two, and he got two, so I think people thought he was going to continue it. But the only person who's had three is Connery. So, but if you want to get into Bond for real, anyone is like doesn't get all the Bond rules and stuff. Just see the first three Connerys. That's the best. All three are really good. Like Doctor No from Rush with Love and Goldfinger are fucking great movies, and they're not like weirder older 60s movies. Like you can get into them and then you'll understand Bond and you'll get why people love Sean Connery and so
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. I
No.
wasn't funny there, but
No, it's
but
fine.
yeah, those three are really good, and you'll also be like, oh shit, that's where all this Incredibles stuff came from, and
Yeah.
stuff like Doctor No I think influenced the Incredibles a lot, if I recall. I'm pretty sure. So you know but they're, just watch the really good ones, just if you want to get into it and love it, because I think there's, out of the 24, there's like 10 that I think are really good. So, that's not a great average.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I plan on like watching some of the Bond movies at some point. Probably not soon, but
Just watch,
at some point.
Connery first.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I was planning on doing.
I mean, I actually watched Doctor No first because my dad was a big Connery fan. So, just, just go with that, I would say. And I think they're pretty easy to find. I think. I don't know.
I want there to be a sequel where James Bond gets arrested and thrown into the slammer, and they'll call it Jail Bond.
Good one. Good one. Good one.
Yeah, the only thing I really know about Bond movies is that the fact that they're like spy action movies, and also there's always like a sort of like stylistic intro.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the song. And the
And
song,
sex. Don't forget about sex.
there's a lot of sex. The song usually fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lie. The song is usually there's like Skyfall, again, exception. I like that song. But
Check it out.
Inspector, that song, I was like, am I at the dentist? What? I never heard Sam Smith before. He's like so boring. Like I was like, this is the song? Like this is dull. Like, oh my god. So I'm not a fan of a lot of the theme songs I don't like. So except for Shirley Bassey, she's the best. But
All right.
and Live and Let Die, the Paul
Yeah.
McCartney.
All right. Next thing is something that happened to Saber last, or was it this weekend? I can't
What
remember.
happened? What happened?
He went
Remind
to
me.
casting call for
Oh,
Guardians of the
Jim,
Galaxy
this
2.
is so cool. I want to tell you about this.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. Were they like, where's the other guy? You need to fuse to be Chris Pratt. What do you think? Does that happen?
No. What happened is, I was at work a few weeks ago, because I'm never at work besides that. But no, I was at work, and some guy walked in and was talking to my coworker, saying, "Hey, there's a casting call for Guardians of the Galaxy next Sunday. They're looking for quirky bearded guys amongst the extras." And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm working that Sunday. I can't go." And I was like, and I looked at my schedule and it said I had that day off. So I thought, well, what the heck? Why not? I want to check it out. I've never done anything like this before. So what's the worst that can happen? So I hit a police officer on the way over there, and I was arrested. Nah,
Just
all
walked
right.
Just walked over and go, "Yo, pig! I think I smell bacon." Pow!
Oh, so because apparently they're filming most of the movie here in Georgia.
Oh, really?
They set up a studio in the convention center that's near Hartsfield Jackson, which is that big airport in Georgia near
Is that the
Atlanta.
convention center like where Dragon Con is?
I don't
Dragon Con
think
is like in
so.
multiple places.
Yeah,
around Atlanta.
Dragon Con is in the heart of Atlanta. Hartsfield Jackson is like, I'd say 10 miles away from Atlanta, because we don't want the airport that close. So I went there. They were doing casting calls the day before on Saturday. I dressed up to look nice. I didn't know what to expect. I got some paperwork. It's still in my car. This is Guardians of the Galaxy casting call. I saw all types of folks there, big, weird-looking people who knew that they were there for that kind of type of role. Bunch of models, bunch of girls there who are like, they're just totally wearing their outfits to make them look sexy and everything. And it's like a bunch of tryhards. Straight into my tongue. But yeah, I waited there for about an hour and a half. They did a good job moving people along. And they said, we're filming in Fayetteville. We're filming here. I went to go use the bathroom, and I could see the enormous studio they built, or the stage they built. It was already being built and everything. And I'm like, this is really cool. They're going to be filming the movie here in Georgia. And I got in line. They took my pictures of my front of my face, the side of my face, got some close-ups, and they said, "Thank you. We'll let you know." So I'm waiting to hear back. I doubt I'll get picked, but it was still just cool to get out there and see, how that process works.
Cool life experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, you might go depending on schedule stuff.
Depends, but you, and I think even Draft said, do it. When Draft
just
said
do it. You'll be in a major
yeah.
movie.
Yeah. A movie people will see.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. They said they'd have a lot more replies sent out to folks by, I'd say, Thanksgiving. So I'm waiting. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I am bearded and I am quirky, so hey, take a look.
Are you happy
You'll just
they
shave your
moved?
beard before you go.
They moved it closer. Are you happy they moved it closer to you so you can fuse and be Chris Pratt in the movie?
Chris Pratt's walking on the set, and all of a sudden he just starts the gravity just pulls him, and I'm like, "Come to me." Chris Pratt's a good guy.
I just remember that fusion thing because I thought I put it in my queue, and then I was like, "What happened to it?" And then last week I found it in my drafts, and I was like, I forgot about this theory.
Dude, I tell you, I've been getting so many Seth Rogen, hey, do you know who you look like? Seth Rogen. Do you know who you look like? Seth Rogen. I work at Starbucks at the moment because, I'm going through a transitional phase in life because fuck sales. And I have customers who are I'm handing them their coffee. And I try to be, no matter what you're doing in life, do it to the best, have a good attitude. It's good for mental health. And so I'll talk a lot, and people be take the coffee and be like, do you know who you remind me of? And I'm like, Seth Rogen? And they're like, yeah, Seth Rogen. And no joke, I think I've gotten that at least 20 times at Starbucks so far. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
I'm just sharing that because I'm getting to the point where I want to actually ask you guys: should I just tell them I'm his brother?
You should. You should be like, I'm Saber Rogan.
Dude, okay, better story. Today, I did something so embarrassing. I got to work. I was kind of out of it because I just swam a bunch, and I got a cup of water, and I wrote my name on the cup, and I put it down. And my shift supervisor picked the cup up, and she goes, "Who is Saber?" I was like, "That's mine." I don't know why I wrote that. And I was so embarrassed because I was like, I had a slip of my brain. I get, and this is going to sound so like self-centered here, but I'm so used to autographing things at cons that kind of like, I know that sounds awful. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful.
I'm so used to being such a big deal, you guys. I just did it.
You conceited ass.
You know how many checks I've sent out and they send back to me and go, "You should keep it. It might be worth more than this fucking rent check."
Dude, no, it was embarrassing. And she's like, "What's the deal now?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it." And she's like, "Really? Well, why?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it." Wow. It was embarrassing because I've had a couple of Freudian slips this year, like some bad ones. Like, for one, I
remember.
I was dating this girl, and we're talking about Freudian stuff, and I said, "Yeah, oh, what's that term called? Yeah, it's called a Freudian slut." And I'm like, why did I say
Wait, hold up. You meted Freudian slip? Freudian slip.
Freudian slip. No joke. In front of a girl. I was head over heels. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it could have been worse. You could have said Freudian clit.
Oh, sheesh.
No, I feel like Freudian slut's worse.
You think that's worse?
Why did you?
I don't know. She was a lady. I was like head over heels for her, and I'm like, yeah, slut. And then later that night, I shot her with a firework on accident. Candle. The Roman candle's holding it forward, and it goes whoosh. It just hits her in the face, and I was like,
aim it away from people.
There's a reason why she's an ex.
That's a bad first date.
You think?
Was that a first date?
No, it was more like whatever. So,
okay, I'm sorry.
Movies.
Sorry, I didn't.
Okay.
No, you're not. No, it's absolutely fine. It's just a funny story. I look back and kind of laugh at. I'm like, I'm a smooth operator.
I'm sure she does too. After you put her hair out.
No, well, she was a beautiful blonde, but now she looks like One Punch Man. Which is why I really digged her. Speaking of which, we gotta talk about One Punch Man.
Yeah,
actually,
did you see the one last week?
Did you catch up? Have you been watching?
Did you watch the one that happened? I saw today. Have you seen the most recent? Mm-hmm. That one was good.
Can we talk about that right now, Paleo?
Yeah. Let's talk about it after the series is done.
No, I want to talk about this episode, please.
Oh, fine. I don't have a picture though.
You don't need one. Just put my smiling face over it. No, okay, so episode 7.
Wait, just put Charlie Brown because he looks like One Punch.
Okay, yeah, because we're talking about Peanuts next.
We'll just use it for both. People just pretend this is One Punch Man.
So, for those who don't, we haven't talked about One Punch Man so far on this podcast.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
You mentioned it. You're probably the reason I started watching it because you said, "Oh, and the show started," and I had heard about it before. I think through Pizza Party, and I went, "Oh shit, I did want to check that out." So
it's good.
It is good.
Yeah, we've talked about One Punch Man before when it started.
So what this episode was, I forget what it's called, and I don't want to do many spoilers. You know, people in the chat, please watch the show. It is so funny and amazing.
Oh, someone just says it's coming to Toonami fall 2000.
Yeah, fall 2016.
Oh, good. So it's a really good show, and I've been recommending it to people who don't even watch anime. Like, I don't watch a lot of anime, and I'm really into it.
It's so great. Well, I feel like this was the episode that really kind of progressed the story and set the stage for what, like, this is what it's going to be. Where it's not about Saitama, you know, knocking out a monster in one punch. It's like, you know, we know he's unstoppable. He's a god. But now we're starting to see, like, the challenge he's facing is the corruption and the hero association. Like, this is what because I mean, like people don't believe him. They think, oh, he cheated in his test, or oh, he's a liar, or he's bumping his rank up. No one believes him except for people like Genos or Bang, or other heroes who are like, this guy's the real deal.
Yeah.
So what did you think like about how he? What do you think about the episode?
I liked how it continues the whole thing where he doesn't get credit for it, but I also like how it's the first time like he's solved something and it's not like he can just disappear to his apartment.
Yeah,
which was interesting because like the twist of it was more like he's starting to have to deal with the responsibility with his powers, and he's honestly like not dealt with responsibility this whole episode. Yeah,
multiple times. I mean, the guy is all about collateral damage, where like he punched that one giant, fell over on another city and blew it up. He punched this asteroid or the meteor and it goes shattering everywhere. And the thing is, like, it's not like he does it on purpose. He's just like, hey, I'm gonna take this thing out right now. Boom. Oh crap. Okay, well, whatever. At least I took the main threat out.
He also like has like no feeling at all. Almost. He's like like he only cares about the sale at the supermarket and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's like he also reminds me of like, even if you've been at a job for too long and you just know how to do everything and you're just like so uncaring about it.
Yeah.
Like then something happens, you're suddenly like, you're like, oh, I care. And like, I feel like that's what he's going through. But I like that, like, he's clearly the most powerful, but since he like cares, but he also doesn't care, he's not going to get ahead, you know?
Well, one thing he cares about is finding an opponent who can actually give him like a real fight.
Yeah, but he can't find that.
No, and the thing is, what's so cool is the series keeps building up where you're like, okay, will this be the guy to give him a fight? Or will this be the guy who will give him a challenge? And because, like, people ask, who's stronger, Saitama versus Goku or Superman? Thing is, we haven't really seen the limits of Saitama's power because he has no limits.
Well, I think he's a cool riff on the Superman kind of character where he's, like, super powerful. And the problem everyone says with Superman is like you can't relate to him. Like I can relate to Saitama a lot. Yeah. And like Superman I can't relate to as much, but Saitama I can. It's like I really relate to that character. It's just like I don't know. I've just gotten it's like my Monday at lunch is always watching One Punch Man.
Isn't that cool to have a show? You're like, yeah, I can't. This is my Monday show. I'm excited.
No, it's like one of my. But then I try to explain it to people, and they're like, wait, so. He's a guy who defeats people with one punch, and the show's called One Punch Man. I'm like, yes, but I don't know. To me, the first episode's so good. Like, there's no way you can't get into it. So.
It's funny too. The show's funny.
It is. It kind of reminds me of The Tick a lot.
I've never seen The Tick. I've heard a lot about it, but I've never.
It is a lot like The Tick.
It's kind of very Tick influence, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, the next episode is going to be insane. Like. We've had.
Have you seen them before or no?
No,
He's read the manga.
I read the
you've
manga.
read the manga. Okay, yeah.
And I won't give out any spoilers, but like, what's so awesome is like we've seen like that Carnage Kabuto guy who's pretty gnarly and strong. And what's interesting is you have a lot of these villains who don't realize how powerful Saitama is. Like he's one of the very few villains who is like, oh yeah, this guy is way too much. Like why are my instincts telling me to back off? But most villains are like, he looks like a wimp, gets blown apart. The next episode is the beginning of a story arc that should be about, I'm going to say 2 episodes long, and it features a villain called the Sea King. And I'm just going to tell you, it's hilarious. It's going to be very well animated because there's a lot of cool scenes in the manga that are very well like drawn, and we get a bunch of new characters that are hilarious. So like, get pumped. It's going to be.
I know there's
so good.
There's 12 total episodes I read. In the first season,
I think they're going to end with a villain fight called Boros. So this is kind of like the first real like Sea King will be the first real villain, like who's like like almost like a Vegeta or a Frieza kind of villain.
Who was the villain? They had that 1-2 episode arc where they've destroyed that compound.
Yeah, but that was kind of more like just like what's so great about it is like you have that beginning in that episode where it had the scientist like background, like he tried to find the perfect evolution and started doing all this stuff and whatever. I had a lot of monologuing about that and exposition. But then whenever Saitama was revealing his workout, that doctor walked up saying, holding his arm and go, I want to know too. So Tom was like, who are you? I love that. I love the fact that this guy who had a bunch of exposition, Saitama was like, I don't know, who are you? Whatever.
Yeah, like that.
Saitama doesn't care. Like he's just, if to him, once again, like that entire episode, what made him upset? He missed the sale. Everything else was like, oh god, I missed the sale. And this thing that was the epitome of evolution with whatever, maybe a century of research, nothing to compare to him. Go watch the show, people. Please watch.
No,
show.
it's free on Hulu. I don't know if the later episodes are, but the current
they are. They all are.
Oh, they're all free. So you don't have to have a Hulu account. You can just watch it.
Commercials, but okay. I've been going on way too long. Let's move on to the next thing.
Okay.
You all been talking about peanuts, aren't you?
Yeah, I saw in the chat somebody says, now I'm imagining Charlie Brown as One Punch Man, but he misses every shot.
Snoopy's Genos. All right, go on. I didn't see Peanuts. I was gonna go see it this weekend, but I can't bring myself to see a movie by myself unless it's Star Wars or The Good Dinosaur. I cannot wait for that. It looks good.
Oh, seeing a movie by yourself is great because you don't have to comply to everybody else.
Yeah, but like you guys are movie like soldiers. Okay, can I actually ask a really stupid question that's gonna sound very like pessimistic?
What's up?
Okay. This is going to take a very dark turn, but I'm being completely serious. Okay, so we had what happened in Paris. Awful, terrible. Yeah. And also,
what happened?
Do you not know what happened in Paris?
No, it was fine. I'm sorry. I was just being.
Hey, no, comedy's there to. It's a defense mechanism against these things, like that Duckman episode about how if you can't make fun of, whatever. So, America's no stranger to shootings, and there was a shooting in the theater for Batman, I believe. Do y'all think...
Yeah, like Dark Knight Rises, like a couple of years ago?
Yeah. Do y'all think anybody's going to be doing that for Star Wars? I mean, come on, it's a huge platform for them to make headline news.
I've thought that too, but I don't think it would just because they'll be so... I mean, they just got bombed the shit out of them. And I think if they are, it's going to be... probably a theater I wouldn't go to. So
I think the reason that they stopped doing midnight showings was because of the Dark Knight Rises thing.
Well, actually, you're right. That is why they used to do midnight, and then they slowly moved it to 7.
Yeah,
and
7 the day before.
They revealed it actually right at the beginning of summer that it was all intentional. They just didn't tell anyone because they didn't want to make headlines about it. Yeah. But they basically stopped doing midnights and started doing 10 p.m.s, became the norm. And then it started moving to 9 and 8. Now 7's pretty much become the
midnight showings are like they
still
even do them anymore.
They do them for Star Wars. They're going to do midnight shows, but it's going to start at I mean, the first shows start at 7, but the reason they did that is there's more people out at 7, so there's also more security, and it's easier to get security. So that's the reason they did it. I don't honestly think they'll probably be something for that, just because I think they already know to have tons of security because it's going to be such an event.
Yeah.
And they've already before all this, like weeks before, they said they're not going to let people come in with toy weapons. So they've already been prepared.
So no lightsabers? I know this is ridiculous, but I mean...
No, I think it was something like that. I don't know if someone can... I forget. I don't have a link to back... I remember reading about that they were going to be really strict just about toy weapons. So it sounds like they're prepared for something to happen. But, I mean, the thing is just know where your exits are. And if you're... Like I said this in a video, how to go to the movies... Go to a reliable theater that you know, and you'll feel a lot more, if that's something you're scared about, then go to one that you know the ins and outs of, and then you'll feel much more comfortable,
What day and age do we live in where we have to worry about this, though?
No, it's stupid. I honestly don't think it's going to be an issue.
See, I'm going to go to a theater in North Georgia. That way, if a guy comes in, everybody's like, right back at him.
I mean, I don't think it'll be an issue just because it sounds like before they sounded like they were preparing for it. And the one thing about the movie industry is they are they definitely make it so nothing gets messed up. I mean, look at what happened to the interview.
Yeah.
Like they took that away so quick. Like they're very much a check and balance system, and it's not because I like the movies that I have faith in Hollywood. It's just like time and time again, if someone's tried to mess with them, they found a way to make money off of movies. I mean,
Yeah.
like there was a soda thing in New York where you couldn't sell a certain amount of soda at once, and the theaters are the
Why?
ones that took that down, not 7-Eleven. The movie theaters are like, yeah, there's no fucking way. We're not selling a large soda. Like we're selling a large soda. Fuck you. We don't care. So so
Well, that's their
like
livelihood. That's how they make their.
no, I
Yeah.
know exactly. So it's just like they're so prepared for this. I think they'll be even more prepared. What are you laughing?
Somebody says, man, the Peanuts movie took a dark turn.
So you all can talk about your peanuts now.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. So peanuts.
Yes, they're tasty.
No, I mean, what did you? Watched your review like a while ago, so I kind of don't remember at this point.
Yeah, I said like I think this was like probably the most respectable like thing they could have done with the
Yes.
Peanuts.
I agree.
As far as the style of it, I think like they did the right choice in making like this a new like faux 2D, 3D style. Because it moves at like a certain frame rate of like 2D animation,
Yeah.
and it looks like just like the old specials. And there's even like moments where it sort of like goes into this like 2D line thing where like Charlie Brown's having a thought, and it's just like completely 2D. I thought that was really neat.
Oh, that was cool. I I was surprised how small it was, which I liked,
Yeah,
but I was
yeah,
surprised like because it's blue sky. I kept thinking like, man, like before, you know how like the first trailers. I
yeah,
mean, I think we all thought like this is gonna suck. Like, when they were showing the Red Baron stuff only, it
yeah,
was just like, oh god, what is this gonna be? But um. I like how like the Leo's toy store joke was
yeah,
like I really like that joke. But there are a lot of like real relatable jokes and they didn't date them. Even though there's no point where Charlie Brown's holding an iPhone,
yeah.
thank
Or
God.
there aren't even like any computers.
Yeah, there's
You know?
no it's all exactly in the world of the Peanuts, which I
Yeah.
thought was really nice. But there were certain when they signed to do the movie, they couldn't over advertise Snoopy in
Oh yeah.
America, especially. Like they had to have if Snoopy was in an ad, there was only a certain amount of Snoopy advertising they could have. Most of it had to have Charlie Brown in the picture as well.
Yeah.
Why so little?
Because I guess because more people know just Snoopy, but they don't really know where he came from. And I think they wanted to show like this is because it's really a movie about Charlie Brown. I mean, Snoopy has a B plot, but
Yeah.
they wanted to advertise the Peanuts, not Snoopy. Although in some countries it's actually called Snoopy and Charlie Brown, the Peanuts movie, and apparently in those countries, she let I think the widow let Snoopy be the main advertising because in those countries they only know Snoopy. So
From MetLife.
yeah. I mean, yes, Snoopy. The Peanuts have been on so much advertising,
Yeah.
but the Snoopy storyline you couldn't really connect to as much.
Yeah. Like
You
it's
know,
it's mainly like Charlie Brown's storyline with the little redheaded girl and like how he's trying all these things and like just failing at them, where you actually do really relate to Charlie Brown.
and the
And like,
voice. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
oh yeah, yeah, the voice cast is like really spot on.
That was the thing. Is like, how did they found people who they weren't exactly the old specials, but when you heard their voice, I didn't think like, oh, that's who they got to do Linus. I
Yeah.
thought, oh, that's Linus. Like I didn't think
Yeah.
about it for a second, which was
Like
cool.
for all the specials and like movies that they've done, they've always had like kids do the voices. So
Yeah.
they've had like multiple kids. But after I watched the Peanuts movie, I went back to watch a couple of the late 60s, early 70s movies, and I watched A Boy Named Charlie Brown and Snoopy Come Home. And I gotta say that in those movies, the pacing is really slow.
Yeah.
In this movie, it seems to flow really, really well.
Well, those weren't, to my understand. I haven't seen. If I saw them, I was like 2. If I did see them, but those weren't made by a major studio, or they were only distributed by a studio, right?
Yeah,
So like, this is the first one that Hollywood was involved with.
yeah.
I think because those were like I think made by the syndicator who made the comic strip or something.
I'm
I'm
not
not
sure.
sure. But this one had a real. I was surprised how episodic it was. Like it went from
Yeah.
the dance to the book report to another thing, and it was like modern movies don't really do that. I thought it was going to be more overarching, but they did a good job.
Yeah, I think
with
that's
it.
probably the best way to do a comic strip movie, is to have like these multiple different arcs with this one overarching story.
Yeah. And the voice they got the voice of Snoopy is the voice of Snoopy
Yeah.
from the specials. They use archival voice recordings to do Snoopy. And he's the guy who directed the original specials, which I didn't know,
Yeah.
which is interesting. So, but it was I liked it, and I think is there a thing in kids movies where they have to play a song during the credits where all the kids dance at the end of the movie? Because every time I'm leaving a kids movie, it's like a kid dance party I'm leaving. It's like really weird. Like all the kids are like kids
Yeah.
can't dance well. I'm sorry, kids.
Yeah, they're pretty
So
bad.
they're like this is how they dance. But like
So
same
I
with
did see a video of this one kid like dancing to like a Connect game. I think it was like Dance Central, and he's really good at it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But it was the same thing with what was it? Hotel Transylvania 2, which actually is now the highest grossing Adam Sandler movie.
Really?
Yes.
God, I'm glad he needed the money.
He had like one of his biggest bombs and biggest hits in the same year.
Yeah, that's so weird.
2015 is dumb.
Yeah.
It really is.
Didn't
This is a
Pixels,
stupid
didn't
year.
Pixels eventually get to the 200 million mark though?
Oh god, don't tell me that, Paleo.
Because I saw it on the list. Like, there's a list of like all movies
like,
that get over
internationally.
200 million. Yeah, it's like internationally.
Well, that makes me feel a little better. I'm looking this up. I don't want this to be true. Why did you tell me this? Wow, it did make 78 million oh my god, it made 243 million worldwide.
You know what disappointed me is the fact that
That's a sigh of depression right there.
you know what disappointed me, but also made me proud of our country, is the fact that Inside Out did better here domestically, but Minions did better worldwide. So it's the rest of the world that sucks.
Jesus.
America's been saying that for years.
Minions. That's the other one that'll probably try to fight to get an Oscar nom.
You know, okay. I talked to Pillow about this. I want to see what you thought, Jim. So I watched Minions a few weekends ago.
Really?
I did. I watched.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me.
And I thought this isn't a bad movie. Like I enjoy some of the jokes. The characters are kind of cute, but I don't get why are they like the thing? Why are they like?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing
Yeah,
I kept thinking while watching it. It's like, why are they such a big deal? I still can't figure it out. I just don't get it. I don't
Like
know.
I remember seeing Despicable Me, and I'm like, oh, Minions are cool.
Wait, that was the first one you saw?
Yeah, I saw Despicable Me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And then I saw Minions, and I've watched half of Despicable Me too, and I like the ending of Minions, where spoilers, Gru shows up, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I just don't get the fascination. They just aren't like I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of some other movie franchises that have done this, where they try to get like a character to become the face of it, and they've just failed miserably. I mean, Minions succeeded.
Jar Jar Binks.
Oh God Almighty! Oh, here's a question. Okay.
Okay.
The armies of Mordor versus the Gungan army and Star Wars Episode 1.
Mordor.
Really? You think
Yeah, I'd
so?
say more.
Oh yeah, I think they'd like enslave Jar Jar hardcore.
You don't think the Gungan's weapons could withstand the Mordor army?
No, because they would do some fucked up shit.
I've got a question. Minions versus the Rabbids from Rayman Raven Rabbids.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think it would be a tie. It would be a bloodbath.
Yeah. By the way, they're going to be
Minions
making a Rabbids movie.
Versus
If you
Mordor.
thought Minions were bad.
I continue. I'm sorry. I was wondering.
Okay, but yeah, Rabbids is like actually one of those mascot characters that like completely took over Rayman for a while.
Dude, that's a good example right
Yeah.
there.
I can't think of another. I'm sure there is one like sidekick that just took over a movie.
Like I don't know why, but I have this really distant memory of like noticing a trend in movies as a kid growing up where it's like people around the entire world are talking about FLURP DERP from like a movie. Like, "We love FLURP DERP!" And it's like a character that's like the stupid.
Wait,
side
so your memory of movies is a Rick and Morty-esque parody?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember like I think it was what was it? Treasure Planet. People around the world talking about, flirpity derp derp, and it's like, oh, it's a little floating thing. It's a
yeah,
bit.
that guy.
Saw Treasure Planet. I need to see that.
Really, it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Actually, I think Ben Edlund, who made the take, wrote that. I believe. I should see.
Or how about that Robots movie from DreamWorks? People around the world talking about Robin Williams' side character. Oh, he's so cute, flirp derp.
I still have not seen that movie.
Yeah, I don't think
it's not bad. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's the same problem I have with Cars. Is like why is it only robots?
Well, robots make a lot more sense than cars. I'll tell you that right much. Dude, why Cars 3? Why?
Because Cars makes like $1 billion.
Makes a lot of money. Yeah.
The Cars ride. Okay, I gotta say, what's so bizarre to me is that like the movie itself is stupid, and the universe and the of the movie is stupid. But when you go to Cars Land in Disneyland, and California Adventure, it's awesome. Like walking down the street, like, oh, there's the stuff from the movie, and the Cars ride's freaking amazing.
Fun, like really
it's awesome.
Fun.
And they're the animatronics where they have like some of them like Nader talks, and it's like, wow, this looks like it's freaking real. Oh, and apparently for Star Wars release, they changed Space Mountain to Hyperspace Mountain, and you're a fighter pilot, and they have like a 3D hologram or whatever. It had a hologram of Admiral Akbar. And
he's in the new one.
I know he was in a trailer. You could see him in the corner. It's like, yes.
Really?
Yeah. He's when there was a Japanese trailer or something like that, and it has a camera zooming in on Leia's back, and she's kind of one of those little circular,
Oh, and he's one of the. Oh, now that gives me a reason to rewatch that shit.
And you see Admiral Akbar like leaning in. It's like.
Actually, funny story about the Japanese trailer. So I saw it, and then the trailer came out on Friday, and then I was going to see Spectre in IMAX, and I was all excited. Like, if I see Spectre in IMAX, I get to see the Star Wars trailer in IMAX. But since the new Japanese trailer came out, it made the sensation of seeing the older trailer, not as fun, because it's like, I mean, this is good in IMAX, but it's not as good as that Japanese trailer.
Japanese trailer was better. Like having those TIE fighters.
That TIE fighter shot is beautiful. Yeah,
it looks like a Go Army commercial.
Someone
they're recruiting stormtroopers.
Someone in the chat just said my favorite James Bond movie is Cars 2. But I think wasn't Cars 2 a spy movie? So
it was.
Maybe that's not so bad.
It was so dumb.
Cars
is the worst Pixar movie.
From crying out loud, I just don't get. I don't get a car. Is an invention that humans made to what the fuck? Why do they have?
Maybe what they're saying.
Why do they have doors?
Maybe what they're saying is God is man.
Deep.
No,
I disagree. No.
Did I just blow your mind? I think I did.
All right, let's.
I'm just having an aneurysm from Cars. Go on.
Let's move on. Okay, so Peanuts movie, it's good. You should go watch it if you like Peanuts. Like, if you're a fan of Peanuts, you're gonna love it.
What if I'm allergic?
There was this.
What if you're allergic?
There was this Forbes review, and the guy was like, "I don't fucking like these characters. Fuck this movie." Basically,
yeah, that's what I was talking about like the last time.
No, because I heard you say that in your review, and I was like, "What's he talking about?" And then I heard the review, and I was like, "What? Who does that?" Anyway.
All right. Anyway, next thing, let's talk about the Warcraft trailer.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let's talk about this. Okay. I feel so much more involved in this episode. All right, so you all do your thing. I'll be waiting here to correct you.
So the
Whoa.
Warcraft trailer, I'm assuming it's based on the first game since it's just orcs and humans.
Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
Like I know that like Baby Thrall is in it because a lot of people are pointing that out. I only like know a little bit about the Warcraft lore, but it really interests me because the lore of the world is like really well thought out.
It's vast. It's
Yeah,
very vast.
but I just don't want to play it.
I mean,
I mean, I
Warcraft
don't want to play World of Warcraft, but I'd probably play the RTS games.
the artist games are great, and there's a lot. Like there's, and it still grows. And I love. There's a really cool YouTube channel called Nobble, NOBBEL, and this guy is a huge Warcraft player, but he's all about lore specialization, and he'll talk about different like just parts of the lore. Really, and he's from Denmark, so he has hello everyone kind of voice. He sounds a lot like SharePoint. Um, Okay, so I'm sorry. Continue. Jim, what did you think of the trailer?
Well, as someone who's like never played Warcraft ever, it looked cool, but mostly because it looked like the dorkiest shit I've ever seen in a movie trailer.
You're
Like
not
it just
wrong.
like didn't see. It wasn't like a trailer that was like we want to get the normal people in. It was like, look, we're going silly, cartoony, and if you don't like it, just don't show up. Was kind of like what I got from the trailer. Because a lot of like big dorks and nerds on the internet and on Twitter were just like, oh man, this looks like the dorky. It's like if the Hobbit movies went super dorky and just did
Yeah.
not care about getting like they have a lot of confidence in their audience, which I think is cool. I don't know if that'll work out for them, but I liked it. Seemed like I was kind of excited for it, how like super nerdy it looked, because the designs are cartoony, like they're not even trying to be realistic.
And that's how Warcraft's always been.
Yeah.
No, that's good because I want it to look. That's a cool look.
Big old pauldrons.
Yeah.
Even though they should be bigger.
I did
Like
see that a video from Dodger where she said that there's like three camps of people reacting to this trailer: those that love it, those that hate it, and those that are confused because it's not completely animated. Because
yeah, the
like,
faces are jarring.
yeah, the because the cinematics that Blizzard does for their games are always really good.
They're the best.
And like they look amazing. And they actually made a trailer for the next
Legion.
Warcraft expansion, which looks amazing. Like the humans look really good. So people are confused about like why isn't this movie completely animated in that? Because
It's
it looks
weird.
great.
Because Legion had an expansion where it had like King Varian and the Lions of the Horde are attacking the Legion island, and it's better than the Warcraft trailer, at least in my opinion. And there's a lot riding on this movie.
Yeah,
There is. Yeah.
There's a lot riding on this movie.
because there's like 4 video game movies coming out next year.
When does it come out?
June.
Oh yeah, it's got a prime June slot. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious how it's going to go down, but I think it seems to me that a lot of people who used to play Warcraft and a lot of people who currently play Warcraft are going to show up.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
not
still,
sure. See it.
that's still a lot of people, but also like May has a lot of heavy hitters. Like has the Captain America Civil War. It has X-Men Apocalypse. I think there's something
Batman v
else.
Superman.
Well, that's March.
That's March. Okay.
But like, we'll be hit by a bunch of big movies, big comic book movies, and I think people will want something that's like not because those are all dark and serious, except for Deadpool, and I think people will
That's
be
in
down.
February.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like by the time we get to June, people want that different kind of movie, And we won't have a fantasy. We haven't had a fantasy movie between Warcraft. And now there's no fantasy movies except the last one was like the third Hobbit. So I think
Yeah.
people
And that
want-
wasn't that great.
No, I think people want a good fantasy movie again because those 3 Hobbit movies, wow, that was bad.
Yeah.
That was like bad.
Jim, if we're on the topic of The Hobbit, I want to bring something up.
Yes.
They had the special edition released back in late October, and I've been waiting for this for a while.
Okay.
And that's
Did
some
you
deleted
see it?
scenes. I watched it, yeah, of course. I'm a
Okay.
huge Lord of the Rings nut, and I still wanted to because there are inconsistencies in the editing of the third Hobbit that made me think, like, what was left out? There were some weird parts, like in the battle of the 5 armies. there's a scene where Thranduil, the Elven King, said, get ready to fire, and all the elves turn and get their bows and arrows ready to fire their arrows. They never shoot. It's like, well, okay, well, what was that about? That was just editing to take up space. And I thought, okay, well, I guess that's part of a deleted scene, maybe, because in the commercial for the movie, it had the elves all firing the arrows off in a volley, and they're all going to go over the hill, but they're aiming towards the dwarves. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Is there a deleted scene where the dwarves and the elves actually fight? Because that never happens in the book. Like some kind of alternate universe where what if the dwarves and the elves just said, screw it, let's fight? That's what happened.
Wait, really?
Yes, and the deleted scenes. Do you want to hear this? Like, it's kind of not really a spoiler.
I mean, I wasn't gonna see the extended because I really didn't like the.
It's got some pretty cool, like, just action scenes. I mean, some of those things are stupid. Like, that one sniveling character who like got away with the money.
Yeah.
He gets killed.
Oh, really?
You want to hear how he gets killed? I'll tell you.
How?
He got catapulted into a troll's mouth.
What?
Yeah.
Why did they cut this stuff?
It was stupid. I was like, this is dumb.
I think they cut up those movies in the wrong way because ending the third one with the smog death.
It was it should have the second one should have ended with Smog's death. But they thought we want to get people, let's go and throw that hook in. It was all to make money. It was
but it just really just didn't. I don't know. Well, it shouldn't have been 3 movies. I mean,
should have been 2. Should have been 2.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I actually think the best Hobbit movie is the cartoon.
I agree. It's got that music too. It's just, and I love it. And the Smog voice actor. But okay, so let me tell you one last thing, and we'll move on. So, or if Payla wants to. So. There's a great. So the dwarves and the elves are about to fight. Okay, and I thought this was kind of like stupid but cool, where it had the elves getting ready to launch the arrows at the dwarves because the dwarves were like, let's go ahead and let's do it, let's fight. The elves pull off their arrows and they fire them at the dwarves. So I'm like, okay, so they do fire them at the dwarves. Well, the dwarves have these ballistas, which are those giant like arrows that like they're like giant crossbows. They fire them. They deploy a helicopter and they chew up all the arrows. So all the arrows being shot at the dwarven armies goes, and they get shredded. And it's and then the ballistas also like land and hit the elves. And the dwarves have it's stupid because the dwarves had a bunch of like ram riders, and then they clash with the elves, and they're straight up fighting and killing each other. I thought that was really cool. Kind of weird because like that never happened in the book, and it's kind of like they should never have fought to begin with.
Well, they do these things like I think my favorite, the thing that tells the most about the Hobbit movies is that scene where they're in barrels and Legolas is jumping off them and basically all these people are attacking them. And then in the book, like literally, I'm not making this up. In the book, that sequence is just the hobbits are in barrels and they go down the river.
Yep, that's it.
And then they changed it to like this huge action sequence. And it's like, why did you do this? But I think the most telling thing about the Hobbit movies is Tolkien himself tried to rewrite The Hobbit to have it connect more with Lord of the Rings, and he gave up because he said it wasn't a good idea. So
when the guy who created it said, this isn't going to work, you might want to take a chapter of his advice. So, I mean, yeah, that's a great example. They just stretched it out. And, I mean, is it cool? Okay, yeah, there's some pretty cool cinematics, but does it flow well? No pun intended for the river? Nope.
Oh, really? It's sad because I love Lord of the Rings a lot, and the Hobbit movies it was depressing because I really kind of wanted. When the first one came out, I was excited, but by the third, I was so defeated.
And what's sad is, I mean, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Mm-hmm. I was feeling what you're feeling, so that's saying something.
It really just took the wind out of it. And Peter Jackson used to be a director who I kept. Even after, King Kong, I was like, okay, well, it's the movie I always wanted to make. He gets a pass. But then Lovely Bones, I was like, okay, I'm starting to not like this guy. And then Hobbit, killed, I don't even know if I'm not excited for him anymore. It really killed it. He did George Lucas's career arc in 10 years.
which is impressive.
It's impressive.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
He did a faster descent than any director I've ever seen in terms of the public. Like I've never seen a director because if there was like you heard of a new Peter Jackson movie, I think most people wouldn't care now.
I like Peter, and I think he does care a lot. He never wanted to do The Hobbit. He wanted to be.
That's the part that makes it sadder when you watch him because you can tell he didn't want his company to go under, and Del Toro quit. Which I think Del Toro quit because those scripts are not like streamlined.
Because he had other projects to do. He's like, I can't wait anymore.
Well, they kept delaying and delaying, but also like if you
I've got Pacific Rim too.
But seriously though, watch those movies and think about those scripts. Like whatever you want to think of Del Toro, he would not make scripts that bloated. And I think as soon as they got more and more bloated, and they're like, we're doing a third movie, I think that's why he really left. Is like it just completely got too big for him to want to do. And, but it is kind of sad. Like Peter Jackson went from doing the Tolkien things out of like a fan and love, and then he had to do the Hobbit movies out of because he owns Weta. Like I think people don't realize he owns Weta. If he had not made that movie, it would have been disastrous for the New Zealand economy. Like he had a lot on the line. So
yeah, a lot of stress, man. I mean, and the guy, like I watched behind the scenes. One thing I thought was interesting is how he had a guy who his only job was to make Peter Jackson's tea, and they say he went through like 20 cups a day. That's freaking insane.
Wow.
But that's a lot of sugar.
No, I know it costs altogether.
All those kidney stones.
It costs like $1 billion to make all those movies.
But they make billions back.
No, it made a lot back, but the the Lord of the Rings movies I think cost like a third of that.
Wow.
And how much better are those than?
It's
that's
funny.
With reshoots, I think because I think originally it was all three were like 200 with the initial shoot. But they did a lot of like Return of the King is like mostly reshoots. It's not even like that's what I heard. Like Viggo Mortensen said later, like if Fellowship hadn't worked, there was this rumor they were going to release them on video if Fellowship bombed. That was the idea because no one knew what Fellowship was going to become. Like they didn't know. But he was like, no, we needed reshoots. Like most of what was in Return of the King. Like Return of the King was like half done or something.
Yeah, they had to go back and do it again.
They did a lot of reshoots for them. Like Gollum was barely finished when they released Fellowship. So I don't know what would have happened if it hadn't been a hit.
It's so interesting because like I watched your review on Return of the King when I was marathoning your stuff.
Oh wow!
And I was like,
cool.
Well, thank you. You made it. So
okay.
you know what's interesting is I'm going to mention this because I think we're getting way off topic from the Warcraft.
Yeah, we're like
this isn't Warcraft.
So I'm going to mention one.
Is there an image of the chipmunks under us with lightsabers again?
No.
God.
Okay.
No, we're not talking about World War II anymore.
Oh, okay.
So when Hitler and the Chipmunks invaded Sauron's forces, Peter Jackson was tasked with taking every single soldier and making sure their rations could last for 3 days instead of one.
This is great fan fiction. Someone run with this.
Run with it, guys.
Write that and draw the picture of Saber eating jerky and sushi and watching my reviews.
All right.
And Palo's eyes just rolling in the back of his head where he's like, "Can we move on?" One little fun fact. Okay, so I've read the books. And there's a really cool.
Good for you.
Thank you. Every book. I read every book. No, I was hoping to see this in Return of the King. There's a bunch of like jungle people who actually like led. I forget it was either Aragorn's forces, I believe, through the forest. Like they're like almost like these tribal people who lived on Middle Earth before anybody else, and they're like, listen, we fucking hate the orcs, so like we're gonna like sound our war drums and everything and lead you through the forest because like fuck these guys, like go fuck them up like that. And it's, I don't know, I thought that was so interesting that they were in the books. Like who would have thought like Aborigines would show up in Lord of the Rings of all places.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just want to mention that to y'all. I thought it was interesting. All right, so what's next?
All right.
Yeah, what is that?
Next is the Finding Dory trailer that came out.
Oh shit! I actually didn't watch this.
You didn't miss
Don't worry, there wasn't really much to it.
Oh, wasn't she just like swims?
Imagine Finding Nemo, but with Dory.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't have to go see the movie now. You're welcome.
Yeah, so the thing in the trailer is that Dory remembers something, and she remembers where like her family is,
Yeah.
and that's like that's gonna be the plot of Finding Dory.
I have a question about the trailer. Does
What?
it say from the director of John Carter or no? Because that's pretty much why he's making this movie. It's because like John Carter bombed.
Yeah, this trailer is most likely going to show up before The Good Dinosaur when it comes out next week.
I'd assume, yeah.
Yeah,
Are you seeing that before Thanksgiving or after?
probably before.
Oh man, I don't think they
I
can.
really wanted to go see that movie. Like, it's weird. Jim, I want to hear your opinion on this. Like, because I know Paleo.
Yeah.
I want to see this movie really badly. It looks really, really good.
Uh-huh.
What about you? Do you want to see this movie?
Oh no, I will see every Pixar movie except for the Cars 2. I like see as soon as I possibly can. I get excited for Pixar. I mean, you know, I think it's probably a really good year for it because dinosaur stuff is so in this year.
Yeah.
Because of Jurassic World, but just like Land Before Time is like really big. My sister asked me for the
Yeah, it just
DVD
came out on
for
Blu-ray
Christmas.
last month.
Oh, it did? Oh, okay.
The
But-
unfortunate thing about that though is that there's no special features at all.
Yeah, that's weird because it's kind of it's the most acclaimed Don Bluth movie.
Yeah, even though
I
like
think.
Secret of Nim and American Tail both have special features on those Blu-rays.
Yeah, I think I've noticed though people are weird about Land Before Time because when I tell people, because I mean I recently did a review, but I also watched it like twice to do the review, and both I was like, this is like a really good movie. I don't understand why the people consider it such a I think because they watched it when they were little kids, they're like, oh, it's a little kid movie, but it's like
Yeah.
it's actually really good. And
I watched your review of that too.
well, thank you again. But it's a good movie, and I kind of want people to look at it as such. You know, it was. I don't know.
I have
don't
a
know what
feeling
the
that people
justification-
might look that way about The Good Dinosaur because I do get like a big like Land Before Time vibe from it.
Yeah, I've noticed
Uh,
when I suggested it for people at Thanksgiving, it seems like I'm gonna get to see Creed, but I'm gonna have to wait till everyone leaves to see Good Dinosaur, which is fine, you know. But I think I don't know. It's also interesting because it's a new director from Pixar,
Yeah,
and that's something that I think we've talked about it on here before. That one of the problems with like Studio Ghibli fell apart was because its two big directors, Takahata and Miyazaki, are pretty much retired. I mean, Takahata might be working on something, but
yeah,
Miyazaki's effectively retired and the studio's over because they lost their two auteurs, and Pixar's an auteur studio, and they haven't developed any auteurs outside of the main group.
yeah.
Like Brad Bird was the last new person they brought in, and
Yeah,
that
he
was
hasn't done anything since Ratatouille.
yeah, but that was also 11 years ago. That they haven't brought any new. I mean, they have like these co-directors who nobody remembers the name of, but
Yeah,
and I know Brave was from a different director, but I could not tell you who directed Brave. You know,
it
it's like
went through so many.
yeah, it's like, but Good Dinosaur, I kind of want. It seems like they're promoting that director. I kind of want Pixar to have a different director because, they need it to keep existing as a studio. If they want to still be an auteur studio, if they want to be a Disney studio, then you know, fine, do that. But I kind of don't want them to be. I think most people don't. You know, because like we wouldn't have a Pete Doctor, and Inside Out couldn't happen if you didn't have an auteur studio.
Yeah.
You know, that's an auteur movie. It's just it's an awesome
Yeah,
movie.
but I've noticed that a lot of people, especially on Twitter, are like, I'm not excited for The Good Dinosaur. And I'm like, oh, what?
Why?
Maybe it's
it
because-
looks beautiful.
Maybe it's because like two Pixar movies are coming out in the same year, and this is the first time that's ever happened.
That's true. I think it's also it does look more like Play School Dinosaur-y.
Yeah, and
Yes.
the main character is actually voiced by a kid. So,
I mean, people are a little judgmental about things that look like they appeal more to kids, and same with like it's a hard time convincing people like Shaun the Sheep is a really good movie.
yeah,
Like it's, and when I bring up all the things about it, they're like, oh, wow, oh, okay. It's like most people wouldn't see a G movie, and it's like it's a shame because Shaun the Sheep could have used that support.
Yeah.
Um, so, you know, but someone said Monsters University was a new director. That's true, but it's because um, that was a director that they clearly like. You're never going to hear about. Like this is a
Yeah.
director they put in a lot of specials. Like it's clearly they're trying to promote this. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm
I don't
curious.
think they're promoting it quite as much as Inside Out, because Inside Out was like the most promoted Pixar movie ever.
Wait, is that like a
That's
fact?
how. Yeah, because they spent the most advertising on that of
Oh,
any
okay.
movie they've made.
Oh, okay. No, I thought when you first said that you were just sorry. Um, I, I don't know why I'm laughing. But no, because also they want that to get a animated feature, a Best Picture nomination, which it looks like
Yeah.
it's gonna get. Like every person who there's a lot of what are called Oscar blogs, and they're all putting Inside Out as getting a Best Picture
Yeah.
nomination.
Well,
So
speaking of Best Picture nominations,
oh,
wait, finish what you're saying.
oh well, I just think it looks like it's likely because it was one of the best reviewed movies of the summer. A lot of people loved it, and it's Stranger, and I think people are kind of down for it. And Pete Docter, by the way, Up was the first Pixar movie to be nominated for Best Picture,
Yeah.
and this would be his second. And I think there's a lot of love for Pete Docter.
Can I pause you all for 1 second?
What?
What's up?
So I was looking through my email inbox quickly, and Blizzard Entertainment sent me an email. So I mean,
They said stop talking about our trailer on your podcast.
Yeah. Stop relating Lord of the Rings.
give
to
me my
Warcraft.
name. No, so I'll get emails from like Apple or other companies who I've done business with in the past saying, "Hey, check out our new Christmas catalog or whatever." Blizzard just said, "My wallet for ire, new Legacy of the Void Gear warping in." I'm like, "My wallet for wow, greedy much? Like I don't. Why did you say wallet? That makes it sound like you're like, oh, sell out, boys. I don't know, whatever."
Okay.
This is my wallet for I. Oh, I'm gonna buy some shit now. Whatever.
Okay. But speaking of Best Picture animated movies, there are 16 animated movies this year that are eligible to be nominated for Best Animated Movie at the Oscars,
Yes,
and that's a lot for like
it is.
one year.
Well, this will allow it to be for there to be 5 nominees though.
Yeah,
So that's why they do it. But also, regular show the movie is one of the
I
eligible
know.
movies.
That's great.
So I'm not. But that's probably why it played in theaters for a week. I don't think it'll get it because that's the one thing about this Oscar animated feature is Inside Out. It's Inside Out's. It's Inside Out's award to lose, basically.
Yeah.
But I think there's no way it's going to lose at this point. If it gets a Best Picture nomination, we know who won, and it looks like it's going to win. But the thing is who's going to get the other 4?
I know.
Is Pixar going to push Good Dinosaur also? Would they not want to?
I don't know.
Would they not want to because they'll feel that'll cancel out
I feel
Inside
like
Out?
it would probably be the Inside Out, Anomalisa, because it's a Charlie Kaufman movie.
Yeah.
Which I'm
Well,
really looking forward to that.
I'm curious about is that too weird and dark for the Academy? I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I'm just suggesting.
It's only been in like film festivals so far.
It comes out in New York and LA like the last week of the year, so I don't know when it's going to come for everybody else.
But I think When Marnie Was There is probably going to be nominated.
I don't even know because I think Shaun of the Sheep,
Shaun of the Sheep,
Shaun
like
of
Shaun
the
of the Dead.
Yeah. No, I think
eventually.
I think Shaun the Sheep will do that. We'll get one.
Yeah.
I think even though I know Paleo's not going to like this, I know Home will get one.
No. I don't think Home's gonna get it.
No,
I think the Peanuts is gonna get it.
You know why? You know why I think Home
Why?
will? Because DreamWorks almost always gets nominated, and Katzenberg is the one who started the category.
That's right.
And I think he has a history with that
Freaking
category. So I think
grandfathered in.
I think he would get a slot. I think Peanuts has a shot. And is there something? Oh, Minions might get in there. I mean, it's a tough year.
Yeah, but there's also the that new anime movie from the director that did Summer Wars and Wolf Children was The Boy and the Beast that came out this year, which I still haven't seen.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which his movies, that director's movies are always like really good. Also, he did The Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
Oh, okay.
That's a really good movie.
I don't know if it would, just because the problem is now all these studios just want the nomination. I mean, they know they're not. I mean, DreamWorks has to know they're not going to get it. Although they should have probably gotten it last year for How to Train Your Dragon too. But
They didn't. It got nominated.
it did, but it should have.
Yeah.
It should have won. I like.
I mean, Lego Movie should have been nominated and won, but
That's true. I'm sorry. That's very true.
Lego Movie didn't even get nominated.
Yeah, I know. Well, see,
No,
that's
actually, out of those, Song of the Sea should have won.
Yeah,
actually. Well, I kind of thought. I thought How to Train Your Dragon 2 had the best chance. The movie I like the most that had the best chance of winning. I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, Big Hero 6 isn't really that great.
Big Hero 666.
Big Hero 6, the thing with that is it's
a good movie, but it's
yeah,
not
it's
that great.
good. It's just like when I saw it, I was like, that's kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
And it's so genre superhero movie. It's kind of boring to see that now because all our superhero movies now are like different and have other genres influence them. And Big Hero 6 is like just a superhero movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
But like out of the
it's good at it though. It's good at it.
Here, I'll post the link to the nominated films,
But it's
or not nominated but eligible.
eligible, yeah. Which Strange Magic didn't get in there.
Yeah, which is very strange because it is eligible.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, it used to be. The thing is there's clearly a lot more animated films because when they started the category, they would literally throw anything in there,
Yeah,
so they
like
could have
anything that came out.
Yeah, because they used to. At a certain point, you'd only have like 3 nominees,
Yeah.
and then it became if you had a certain amount of eligible films, you could have 5.
Now there's a lot more countries that are actually like, and a lot more countries and studios that are making animated films.
I mean, I'm curious what they'll nominate, but I think this is probably the one category where it's interesting what gets nominated, but we all know who's going to win.
Yeah, like Inside Out is probably most likely going to win because Pixar has like dominated the Oscars over the past 10 years. So
yeah, I don't know why they won for Brave. That was
I know Wreck-It Ralph really should have gotten it,
yeah. Or what else was?
or Wolf Children. I'm not sure if that was nominated though.
I don't think it was. But we'll see. I don't know. But I think it's going to be an interesting build up to the nominations because I guarantee you there'll be something big that will be left out because as I think of it now, there's about 6 or 7 movies that could probably potentially get a nomination, and there's only 5 slots.
Oh, Paranorman came out in 2012 too.
That probably got nominated.
Yeah, that was nominated.
Like always gets, or did Box Trolls?
No.
Oh,
wait,
wow.
yeah, it did.
Oh, of course.
No, it did.
Oh, but Book of Life didn't.
No, it didn't.
But yeah, see, that's the thing is like there's almost too many animated films, you know. And Norm of the North, is that going to get nominated next year? Who knows? But
is Underdogs ever going to come out?
That's my new joke. Is Norm of the North? I'm going to build up hype for Norm of the North now. You know, we all need to shake it off. All this Star Wars stuff. Norm of the North is going to take over. Just because it's like the first time I saw that trailer, it like went over me, and then I saw it again. And I went, wait a minute, this looks really shitty. Like I just like didn't. Anyway, sorry, but
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next thing topic, and then there's one more thing before we go to Q&A, is the actress for the live action Little Mermaid was chosen.
Yes. But
I
not
forgot
a
her
Disney.
name.
But not. I like that this is a news thing. You're like the big announcement. This person.
I don't know who it is.
Chloe,
Wait, is
Grace
it not? Is it not
Moretz.
Disney?
No, it's another. I think it's Universal.
Oh, I thought it was like one of Disney's thing because I mean, Disney's like we better do it first.
Well, apparently this is going to be closer to the original um, story.
Oh,
So that bitch is turning into sea foam. No, she's gonna turn into seafood foam. All
Seafood.
Sifu, yeah, she's gonna turn into Sifu. But yeah, Sofia Coppola was attached for a little bit, but it didn't seem like it didn't work out, and she's not doing it. So I don't know who the director is, but Chloe Grace Moretz or Hit Girl is going to do it, which I think is apparently. Oh, that was one of the things with Sofia Coppola is she wanted this girl who I don't know her name, but she's the daughter of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke. She wanted her to be the Little Mermaid, and she wanted a new discovery. And the studio was like, "Look, we have age-appropriate actresses who are names who can bring people in. I don't know if Chloe Grace Moretz. I'm sure I'm saying her name wrong. So anyway, Hit Girl. I don't know if she's big enough of a name. She's not like Jennifer Lawrence, who can bring tons of people in. I don't know if it was like worth getting rid of Sofia Coppola to have this name in there, but that's basically
yeah, I didn't know this was not Disney. I thought
Oh
it was
yeah.
like one of the Disney things because I just assumed because they've already been doing like all the live action stuff.
Well, they're trying to do the stuff even there's going to be another Jungle Book. Andy Serkis is direct. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know about this?
What is like a different?
Well, they're going to do it more based on the book, and Disney's is based on their movie.
Yeah.
That's the idea. But I kind of don't want Andy Serkis to do it because he has a really cool idea for a motion capture animal farm.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Doesn't that sound cool?
Yeah, I love Animal Farm.
I like a motion capture animal farm starring Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So I kind of actually would like him just not to have anything to do with this Jungle Book. Just move on.
Yeah, just do the Animal Farm because that sounds a lot better.
Andy Serkis is so fucking talented. Like he's like he worked on Avengers and Star
Hey,
Wars.
what about mine?
What?
Well, mine's down at the bottom. You can check it, like
No.
underneath the Twitch window. Oh,
Wait.
Saber linked his Patreon, so I'm gonna say.
Someone's quick on the draw.
Yeah. Well, look at my Patreon at the bottom. Is like underneath this the Twitch window.
Oh, I need to make one of them Patreons.
Yeah.
You
Do
have
it.
But don't you have to give people things and like do
You don't
things?
have to.
Oh, you don't have to. I can just
Yeah,
be
you
like,
can make them like.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna do more reviews of movies you haven't fucking heard of. Give me money.
Yeah, some people just use it as like a tip jar thing.
Oh, okay. Be like,
But
hasn't. No one's seen this shit in 50 years. Here's my review. No.
I'm gonna review the
I was-
invention of the wheel.
Everyone knows Seymour invented the wheel, but fucking Clyde had to take all the credit.
I was gonna mention the other like Disney live action movies that they have planned, but I don't think we'll have time.
Well, Beauty and the Beast is the big.
Yeah, that's the one the in 2017. But what really got me when I was looking at the list is that they're going to do a live action Winnie the Pooh, and I was like, what?
But wasn't there that really well received Winnie the Pooh recently?
What?
Like that
You mean
cartoon?
the 2011 one?
Yeah, that was.
It
pretty
didn't do
recent.
well though.
Oh.
Yeah, because it like came out the same weekend as the last Harry Potter.
Oh.
So yeah.
Bad idea. No. Okay. Still, Disney, please just do Black Cauldron. I've said it on too many times.
Not gonna happen.
But Black Cauldron is so.
It needs a remake.
It needs a remake.
Not gonna happen, buddy.
And it would be people. I think people would be into it. I don't know. And nobody would get upset because, like, I'm sorry, that movie's not good. So,
yeah,
like,
it's not.
it's you know what's weird about that movie? It's clearly they wanted to take advantage of the Ralph Bakshi market, but like they put it into production so long, but by the time it came out,
Yeah.
Ralph Bakshi was kind of over.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, Disney, they like messed that one up on a lot of levels.
All right, next thing.
Sorry.
There was a Nintendo Direct last week, and there are a few things announced and whatnot. But the biggest thing was at the end, and that's the fact that Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII is going to be in Super Smash Bros. So, a Final Fantasy character that's mainly been known to be on PlayStation consoles is coming to Smash Brothers, which is insane. He's technically been on like some Nintendo platform games, if you count like some of the Kingdom Hearts games and also the like Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm thing. So he's like technically been on a Nintendo console, but apparently, I think this was the one that the poll they did earlier this year of like who they wanted in Smash Brothers is going to be in. So Cloud is going to be in Smash Brothers, which is insane. Your guys' thoughts?
Okay. I don't know. I haven't played Smash Brothers in so long.
Yeah. Have you played like any PlayStation
Oh no.
or Final Fantasy?
I've never played Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Sorry.
I know Saber's
this is the
played
part
like
Saber's supposed to talk during. This is Saber's.
Sorry. Wait, what's that?
Yeah. I said I know Saber's
I hate it. I can't stand it, man.
Kingdom Hearts?
Oh, what? Oh. It's a good game.
Like I know you played
talking
Kingdom
about.
Hearts, but I'm not sure if like you've played Final Fantasy VII or anything.
I've not played Final Fantasy. I've played Final Fantasy X, but that's it. And then I played Final Fantasy X2, and I'm like, this is garbage. So I'm not a huge like Square Enix fan, but I like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy X. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like for Cloud, not Cloud, but Final Fantasy VII, I played like through the first disc when I was a teenager, but I never like got through the entire thing. But I just hope for Cloud they give him a cross-dressing option on on the alternate costumes, because that's like one of the things in the game, like one of the like pivotal scenes or whatever.
When they'll be doing Q&A, by the way, because I might get some coffee here in a bit.
Yeah, we're about to do Q&A, so let's take a break, and then we'll come back and do Q&A. So,
all right,
see you guys in a bit. I'll be right back and go to the bathroom, everybody.
Jim made me back first. Dang it!
I actually thought I was like running late. I'm a little surprised.
Oh,
Someone asked me something and I forgot. Oh, someone made a drawing of your FLURP DERP.
I gotta see it. Where is it?
It's on Twitter. They tweeted you. I thought, yeah, they did. It's like kind of lower in there.
There it is. FLURP DERP. People all over the world talking about FLURP DERP coming next year to haunt your dreams. That's the thing, is that's just an excellent like representative of what FLURP DERP is.
Yeah.
It's just some mindless side character who's just there for comic relief and to sell toys. FLURP DERP.
I thought you mean like how Star Wars is really famous for making like third character from the left into an action figure.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Tree,
like
background tree or something.
Yeah. And then you make Groot.
There you go.
All right,
Which soon you'll star in a movie with.
You guys ready?
Be right
Oh,
behind.
Saber,
questions?
you should be Chris Pratt's younger brother in the new Guardians. I'm pitching it.
That'd be awesome.
Like, here's my younger brother Saber. Then you'll get shot like really early on in the movie.
This is what I'm imagining. Go on.
You'll get shot and your like heart will fall out. You're like Star-Lord. I
am Star Prince. No, I already have this scenario already in my mind of where like, Steven, you got the part. I'm like, oh sweet, and I get dressed up and I'm walking.
Wait,
around
your
the
name's
set.
Steven?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, sorry.
I mean,
I just knew you was Saber.
Jim. Is your real name Jim?
Yes.
Justin.
I've always called you Saber, so I just. Sorry. Okay.
Don't worry, I write it on my cups too. So when my scenarios, I'll go to the screening, not the screen, but the set, and I'll be dressed up as a bearded, quirky guy, and then there he'll be, Chris Pratt, walking onto the stage, and he'd be like, "This is a really good, group of extra." He'll stare at me and say, "Have I seen you in a previous life?" And I'd be like, "Yes." it's me. I've been looking for you.
And it'll be like, are you Saber? Because you owe me money. You signed your check Saber instead of your real name.
Spits out coffee.
Like, you're my landlord? Anyway, sorry.
Star-Lord landlord?
I'm not just your Star-Lord. I'm your landlord.
Exactly.
Wow.
All right. Let's do
The
this.
Super will
Questions.
be at your apartment tomorrow.
Enigma Royal Prince asks, what other comic strips or cartoons would you like to see faithfully adapted into a movie in the future?
Not Calvin and Hobbes.
Agreed.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm going to say Calvin and Hobbes.
Ouch. Ow. Doonesbury.
Only because I've never really read it.
I'll read it, and you'd understand why it should never be adapted.
Yeah. He's really against it, so I don't think they ever could.
Yeah, I know he's against like all merchandise.
I think, see, that's hard because there's so many, like Doonesbury has, Boondocks has.
Yeah.
Both those have good adaptations, so
Yeah,
those would be.
except for the 4th season of Boondocks is terrible.
Well, yeah, but they at least got 2.
Yeah.
they were, it was okay, you know. You know what? Actually, I was surprised never got a cartoon was Life in Hell.
Huh. Yeah, that's
Like,
interesting.
how come that never happened? Like, doesn't that seem like something?
Well, the reason is because originally Matt Groening said that never pitch your original idea to, or the idea that you want to succeed to a studio, and he pitched The Simpsons instead of Life in Hell.
Oh,
Because he
really?
didn't want them to like ruin Life in Hell, so he made The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Oh, so but he never.
Baby Blues has a cartoon.
It does?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like I forgot what network it was on, but I remember them showing it on Adult Swim after a while.
Oh, Baby Blues. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Life in Hell. I was like, what?
Oh no.
Because
somebody mentioned Baby Blues.
actually, I mentioned on other things the Tales of the Far Side. I think I was on Pizza Party. I mentioned Tales of the Far Side. I think it shows Far Side could be a show, but it would be a very strange.
It would be like a sketch comedy thing.
Well, even that one, it's just like it's so weird. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
it. I think only I would like it, so maybe that's a bad example.
And I'd like to see like a Far Side show. That'd be interesting.
You should see. It's on YouTube. Watch Tales of the Far Side. Is their special?
Oh.
Dude, Farsight's hilarious.
But
Yeah.
it's a cool. It was a cool cartoon. So
Let's see. Do you guys think that Rule 34 of Strange Magic would look better than the movie?
I'm so glad I've never seen this movie you all keep talking
wait,
about.
what's Rule 34 again?
Jim, are you serious?
No, I forgot it. What is it?
No, don't tell him. Let's keep
Jim is
him
our old man.
innocent.
We have to explain things to
I
him.
think I know Rule 34, and I'm tired, and I don't know.
If it exists, there is pornography of it.
Oh,
So if it
Of
exists, if
Strange
anything
Magic?
exists, it has porn of it.
that's no, guys. I don't. No one wants
Told
Strange
you.
Magic porn.
Told
Come
you.
on. Is that on DeviantArt? Are you guys that? That's just sad. Like, come on, Strange Magic porn.
I want to see it.
No one sexy was in Strange Magic.
Mick Patterson asks, what video game or movie would you like to see get a re-release? Not a remake, but a re-release.
Something. Well, if it was, I wouldn't mind if it was gonna be Star Wars, the original non-George Lucas fucked with versions.
Yeah.
Like,
have a re-release of those.
I think that
in
would
the
be a
theaters.
cool
That'd be
release.
great.
I would be down for that. I think that should happen. So.
We watched some of the old Star Wars,
Yeah, we still haven't watched Return of the Jedi yet.
and what's interesting is that
We watched the theatrical cuts.
I
Yeah.
need to rewatch them before the new one, the original trilogy.
they look dated, which is weird, and I guess it makes sense. Like, I can appreciate, okay, so I don't know why, but I guess growing up, I got so accustomed to watching the special edition that there are parts that they tweaked that I did not realize were like I thought, oh, Jabba the Hutt, that special edition, or oh yeah, that giant monster walking throughout Mos Eisley, that special edition. But then I'd see like the X-wing fights, and I thought, wow, that green screen effects back then did a really good job. And then I saw the old school ones with Palo not too long ago, and I'm like, oh, they changed that too. This looks very different. Like they polished it up in the special edition. And I thought that looked really good.
Well, there are some of the special edition changes, like Empire with the Cloud City stuff, especially. That isn't that bad and actually helps the movie. But for the most part, I mean, I like a lot of the older, like seeing the lines around people. And
Yeah.
so I don't mind that. But it's still like, once you get to Jedi, that battle is probably one of the craziest. Some of the most insane practical effect shots we'll probably ever see, because right after that, computers got introduced hardcore, and no one's done anything like that Death Star fight in Jedi ever again. Like, that's just so complicated and crazy. So, but I'm gonna watch. I want to rewatch the trilogy. I need to start doing that.
I told you about the A-wing thing, right? I think I've said that 15 times. Right?
Yeah, every podcast you bring it up.
Let me tell you, it is interesting. I hope to see more female pilots in The Force Awakens. That'd be really cool.
They are trying to do more diversity with Star Wars. But what's interesting is, it was always told to me with Return of the Jedi that it was kind of more of a multicultural movie, because at the end it's like all these alien races and Lando hanging out.
Well, it's like Red Letter Media, like Plinkett said, like in Return of the Jedi, you know, they put a bunch of minorities in there, and they all died. Like it had like this one X-wing pilot who's black. And it's like, she's gonna blow, pff, dies. And the Asian flying the Y-wing, you know, I'm hit. It's like, what the hell? Why is the Empire actually minority pilot? Like they're killing everyone as a minority.
It does kind of bug me that
I'm half Native American. Take him out.
It does actually bug me that Lando's not in The Force Awakens.
He's not,
or is he?
To my understanding, he's not. But like
watch him be Kylo Ren.
Isn't he? Whoa!
I got me some Colt 45.
That was good. But like, he's part of the main group, right?
Well, okay. Lando's interesting because, like, yeah, like halfway throughout the trilogy, he becomes relevant. I mean, he was there at Jabba's palace. He flew the Falcon during the battle.
It's weird how he wears Han Solo's clothes at the end.
Yeah, that was weird. It's like, so remember that friend I completely betrayed?
Well, maybe he wasn't going to, but like they cut out the scene where he's eating pizza and it falls on his shirt and all his pants. He's like, I don't want to destroy the Death Star like this. I want to look good. So he just found a clean pair of clothes in the Millennium Falcon. It was Han. So
maybe he took a dump in his pants when Chewie was like strangling him too.
That's true. Good point.
Dude, I love Boba Fett in The Empire Strikes Back because he actually talks back to Darth Vader. Where Vader, because I mean, very few people talk back to Vader.
And that's where the theory that Boba Fett killed Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru comes from.
It's a theory for that?
There's a theory because Darth Vader says, like, no vapor, don't vaporize them or something like that. Don't vaporize them this time or something. Oh God, I forget the line. But he says something to the effect of, don't do that this time. And everyone went, what do you... But then recently people went, wait, what do you mean this time? What was the last time?
What movie? Was it a comic or a movie or a book?
It was in Empire. It's in Empire. When they talk...
That's interesting.
No vaporization. Something like... God,
I mean, I would have assumed it just means like your typical bounty or he's...
Alive.
But Boba Fett's got a cool voice where he's like, you know, what if he's dead? He means a lot to me, or something like that. And Vader's like, fucking, we'll write you a check. All right, calm down.
Like we're the Empire. We got lots of money. We got all
runs on money.
We got all the Jewish gold from the Nazis. I mean, nothing.
The space Nazis.
I mean, the parsecs of Sector 7. Yeah, you bought it. Don't worry.
All right. Next question from Alec Greer.
Hey, Alec.
Hey,
Strange Magic and Home are the only two movies that exist. Pick one to watch, Paleo.
I've never seen either of these movies, so you guys are.
I just want to say, Alec Greer, that's the greatest question ever. What
Um,
is it going to be, Paleo?
honestly, just for the badness factor, I had to say Strange Magic because at least I can laugh at it. Home just makes me angry.
I think I might go home. Do you
Yeah,
see
go
what I
home.
did there? See what I did there? Okay, sorry. All right. I should pick a question. I try to go deep into the questions to pick the early questioners.
By the way, guys, if you want to ask questions, our Twitter handles are right there, and you can ask us on Twitter.
Oh, someone asked Rocky or Rambo. I as much as I like First Blood, I'm still gonna pick the Rocky. Or if we're just talking about personality wise,
What
I
if
think
he's the
I like
same
Rocky.
person?
Well, it's a.
He is the same person.
I just
Or
want to
same
say
actor.
it really depends on who drew First Blood, but I I sorry, I had to do it. But I think I like Rocky more than Rambo as a person, and I like I think Rocky's a better franchise than Rambo. I don't think that's a crazy opinion. I think that's good.
Sammy the Splat Tim asks, ever thought of checking out Transformers Prime? It's especially good, especially for non-Transformers fans. No, I haven't watched it.
I
So,
watched.
I don't know.
Maybe I should. Um, do you guys ever watch other people's reactions to something that something that made you excited? Was that?
Um,
What do you mean? I'm not confused by that. Oh,
like
like reaction trip.
like we did with Star Wars.
I don't really watch the like Star Wars. I did because because we wanted to watch the trailer mostly.
Yeah.
But I don't really watch those because I think it's weird. Because like when we were doing it, I mean, I don't think Saber and I were playing it up. Like we were genuinely reacting to the trailer.
For Star Wars, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but like if I was watching every trailer, like most of the time I'm in the theater and I'm like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Norma the North, okay. And like I'm just not like I can't really watch when people do that. They're like, okay, all right, cool, and then they like drink their soda or something. It's like it's a 3-minute video. You don't need refreshments. Like Jesus, I don't know. So no, sorry. Those
yeah,
things make me angry. I guess.
Ozzy asks, what are your thoughts on the new Ice Age trailer? P.S. It's going to be bad.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a fifth one.
Jeez,
And
at this pace, they're gonna last longer than the actual Ice Age.
And that reminded me, there was actually a short before the Peanuts movie that was like a scratch.
That was a good joke.
It's a scratch.
Thank
Like,
you. Thank you.
It was a scratch short, and apparently, like it's like a leading up to the next movie where like there's a meteor or something coming.
The Good Dinosaur much?
I know. But
I know. Nice try, Ice Age.
for Ice Age,
17.
I've only seen the first two.
I've actually never seen an Ice Age movie.
The first one's all right.
I just kind of was like, I don't know. Ray
But maybe it's
Romano.
because I just like really like
Does he just walk?
paleontology and stuff.
Does he just walk around and go, "Oh, I'm a woolly mammoth"? Oh,
No, it's like a very typical story where like these kind of misfit animals are trying to take home this human baby to its tribe, and that's the movie.
Wait,
it's
you mean
alright.
you mean the first one, right?
Yeah, the first one.
I thought you meant like the next one. I'm like, they've done that already. Now, I think they should do something where like they find the human as an adult. I love that.
well, it's actually, it's been like 15 years since the
Yeah,
first.
that'd be cool where they find the human. They're like, oh my god, it's the same guy, and he's
When's-
hunting them.
When's the next
It's
one
starting to get
coming
more
out?
ridiculous as the movies went on, because the second one it was like two like sea monsters got unfrozen.
That was
It was
weird.
really weird. And then the third one is like it went to like straight to dinosaurs. Even though in the first one, they were like, okay, what can we put in Ice Age that's not dinosaurs, because like they actually went to like paleontologists to say like, what can we put in this, and they said literally anything except dinosaurs. Just don't put dinosaurs in it, because dinosaurs weren't in the Ice Age. Though they did like try to choose things that were actually around in the Ice Age, but anyway.
But then they realized, oh, we're blue sky, so we went, fuck it.
Yeah, but the weird thing about that short though is that
that's human nature in general.
They only made a credits slide for the animators that just says thanks to the animation to make this possible. They didn't actually list the animators, which is really weird.
Oh yeah, that's true. It was also like, I don't know. I don't mind the scratch shorts, but it's just like, why are we? I don't know. I guess I don't really like Blue Sky. I saw Epic, which I didn't love that much, but.
The Crazy Diamond asks, what is the worst film you've seen that's based on a comic strip?
Based on a comic strip?
Garfield?
No, Garfield Tale of Two Kitties. No, I only saw the first Garfield. So I guess I would have to go with Garfield. I kind of remember Dennis the Menace, but I don't remember hating it or
oh yeah, that's right. I just remember like, what's the old guy's name?
Walter Matthau.
Yeah, that guy, and when he was like eating the steak and it was actually a rock. It was like, I remember that like kind of bothered me when I was a kid. I was like, oh, that sounds terrible when you eat a rock.
Or like the one part that like kind of bugged me even as a kid is there's a part in Dennis the Menace where what's his name? Mr. Wilson or something?
Mr. Wilson!
Yeah, so Mr. Wilson's gonna have this, he's worked on this watering this flower that's only gonna bloom once.
I remember that so very well.
Yeah.
And then he distracts him so he doesn't get to see it. And like that just seems like really cruel. Like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know. It's like at a certain point, I thought Dennis the Menace was like had gone too far. And then there's like a homeless bum from the 30s in it. Like, that movie's weird. That movie's all sorts of
very strange.
And it was clearly made to bank on the Home Alone thing at the time. But when's the 25th re-release of that shit? That's what I want to.
That reminds me, speaking of comic strips, there was a Marmaduke movie, but
yes, there was.
I never saw it.
I didn't either.
So I'm not sure how bad that is.
Marmaduke.
Oh, someone they just tweeted me and they asked, "Are you aware of the theory that Jar Jar is actually an evil man who knows the Force and uses mind tricks to help Palpatine?"
There's that theory going on.
I have heard that theory. I think the thing with Star Wars is we're currently having two different fandoms about to see Force Awakens, and I don't think anyone wants to out themselves as it, but I think there are prequel fans and fans that grew up liking Jar Jar, and the fact that like that it's pretty clear like they just are not doing anything with, which they shouldn't, because it's a sequel to Jedi. It's not a sequel to Episode 3. I think a lot of those fans kind of want to bring it back jokingly, but there's like a little bit of like they actually love Jar Jar Binks, you know. Yeah. So I don't think we'll see very much prequel stuff in this movie at all. But apparently they have had meetings with Ewan McGregor, so I don't know what that's going to happen. But they're doing so many weird spin-off movies. I would not be surprised if eventually they get to prequel kind of stuff, but I don't think they're going to do it until the main saga, the new trilogy, is over. Because what we're getting, Rogue One and then a young Han Solo. Yeah. So I don't even think they're going to touch that shit for a while. So, you know.
Pizza Party Podcast, or PPP fandom.
Oh, I know this person.
Yeah, he has.
Go back to the abyss.
What video game would you like to see into an animated movie? Mine is Halo, because no way that shit is going to be live action. Halo could be live action.
It could. I still think like Nintendo needs to get on.
Yeah, Nintendo has a ton of properties that would work really well animated.
Like Metroid, Zelda.
Yeah.
Mario, I think, could be a cool animated thing, but I think it's best to leave that alone for a while. But I
Yeah.
think they should do like Castlevania. Like there's so many
Well, that's
that could.
Konami. It's not up to
Oh, it
Konami
is.
to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. See, it gets confusing because I just remember them all as Nintendo
Oh
games.
wait,
So-
there is going to be a Konami anime coming out.
Oh, really?
Or not Konami, but Castlevania anime coming out.
Oh, but I think the video game thing. We'll see how next year is going to be a big.
Yeah, I think
Is the test.
I think Nintendo's kind of waiting on that, waiting on.
Oh,
We'll,
see how-
we'll let Blizzard test the water and
Yeah, because
I think
a Kirby movie would actually be really really nice, like a
Sure.
Kirby animated movie.
or like a Kirby horror movie, like he's the Blob.
He just keeps eating everything.
They're like, we can't stop him.
All right, the front porch asks, are there any adult are there any
Kaiju?
are there any adult jokes in children's cartoons that you were surprised they allowed?
Not really. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some. I know that Animaniacs has a lot, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
The Crazy Diamond asks, since the Last of Coney Island is out, what is your favorite film by Ralph Bakshi?
Fire and Ice.
I don't think I've seen any Ralph Bakshi's films.
Really?
Yeah, I've only seen like bits and parts of a few, but I've never actually seen them.
Fire and Ice is good. American Pop, which I recently saw and reviewed and stuff, that one is good. Wizards is like, eh. Lord of the Rings is like, eh. But he has some good ones. I would actually like to see all his stuff at some point. I'll like get around to it. You know. But yeah, I would say Fire and Ice because that's the one he did with Frank Frazetta. I think that's my favorite one. So I actually haven't seen Cool World. I need to see that. So.
Oh, I have seen that.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
good?
not really. I mean, the animation's good, and like it's weird to see like a movie that early with Brad Pitt in it.
Oh yeah, because that's like one of his first roles.
Yeah.
I also have on DVD, believe it or not, I have Ralph Bakshi's the live action film he directed, which is pretty rare. I need to review that. It's like it actually is Jared Leto's first movie.
Really?
Yeah, and Alicia Silverstone's first movie also. And it's like it was this thing. Showtime did this thing about where they did every like month they put out a remake of an old like Roger Corman car movie for some reason. And Ralph Bakshi did one, and then Robert Rodriguez did one, and I found it my grocery store was selling like the box set of them for like $5, so I bought it. So yeah, anyway, that's a boring story. Sorry.
You guys got some questions?
I did, and I feel like you either answered them or I answered them. Let me refresh. How much fun do you guys have on the podcast? A lot. Thanks, man. Jesus 17.
Man, Jesus.
That little boy Jesus can't bench press for nothing.
I can't think of. I think we got everything.
Here's
What
one
do you?
specific-
Oh, what do you guys? Sorry, this is from 133 Cool Guy. Said, what did you guys think of the new Gravity Falls Weird Mageddon?
I haven't seen it.
What? You still haven't seen it?
Nope,
He
I
hasn't
haven't
caught up
seen
yet.
it.
Saber.
I know. I'll watch it. Someday. I will watch it, I swear.
Well, I really liked it. I'm super excited. I hope the show goes past this
Yeah.
season.
Next week is supposed to be part 2, I think.
Is it next week?
Yeah.
They push it back so far sometimes. I just assume it's like never coming out again.
Here's one specifically for me from Ozzy. What are your thoughts on Fallout 4? I've never played a Fallout game, so I've heard good and bad things about it though. Like some people say it's really good, and some people say it's like dumbed down a lot. So I don't know.
I told Biscuit didn't like it.
Yeah.
I don't own the game. I probably don't have time to play it. But it looks cool. I like Sky. Oh, Okay, so I discovered on Reddit that there's this lady named Shirley Curry, and she's a
Oh yeah, that's
75 year
right.
old woman who plays Skyrim and Fallout Let's Plays, and it's the most adorable thing ever. She's like, "Hello, grandkids, it's Grandma, and today we're gonna go to Whiterun," and I'm
That's such a
serious.
good Let's Play idea.
It's fantastic. I think she's completely genuine. Like she responds to every comment, super nice and kind. Her quality is better than anything I've ever streamed with her like microphone and her visuals. I'm like, what kind of rig is she running? It's awesome. Grandma's got some. That's what she's doing.
Whoever is sponsoring that channel is a very smart, high concept person.
I don't think anybody is. I think she did it for fun, and it blew up.
Really?
Wow.
Because she
see,
only had about
yeah, but I
20,000 subs, and then now she's got like almost like 70,000 in like a day.
I think whoever made that's what they want you to think, and you fell for it, Saber.
Oh no, I gotta change my icon to the French flag now.
Oh,
Ooh.
Well, that was something I was reading about is how a lot of apparently Facebook is using that for testing grounds to see like what catches on for trends. Like if how many folks use the filter for the French flag. Or that okay, those are the kind of folks who will respond to these kinds of posts and advertisements. So hey, I don't know. It's folks
well,
trying to.
they have that thing where they'll send out an alert to see like if your friends are okay.
Yeah.
So although they didn't do it for anyone who lived in Beirut, so whatever. Because Beirut had a thing. Anyway, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. There were other tragedies this week.
Actually, somebody. I mean, are we gonna even talk about that stuff on this
No, this is an
podcast?
entertainment podcast.
Oh, okay. No, it's we talked about it earlier with the movie theater thing. We did talk,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
It's yeah. I don't know. It's just awful. There was a really interesting picture online where it showed one of the Ramses shields, I believe they're called, that the French police used to enter the theater, and they took a picture of the front of the shield and it had like 17 bullets in it. It's like, oh my god, because these shields are like enormous. They're on wheels and they push the shield forward like almost like a little mover. I forget what it's called, like a little carrier where you put your foot down and you like lean it backwards with the wheels and you push it forward. And it's amazing to think that these officers were pushing the shield into a hot zone like this. They're getting shot at. Like that shield was ringing. Whatever. Whatever. It's too much of a topic. I'm gonna stop talking. Video games or whatever. Go on.
The one thing this whole thing ruined is I saw Spectre and then the girl in it is French and I kept wanting to do a French accent and clearly that's not okay right now.
Wow.
You know.
I can't go like, oh, I'm sorry, James Bond. But it's like, yeah, it's like,
oh my god! Somebody made a funny Imgur post where they're like, um, they're talking about like the oh god, what was it? Shoot, it's gonna bother me now. Where someone left the comment saying like, oh man, forget. I'm gonna butcher it. So never mind. Never mind. Continue. It's not funny, so I'll be quiet. Go on, Paleo. Continue with your
Okay.
thing.
do we get all the questions? Or someone's asking about Wander Over Yonder, which
yeah.
I totally lost. My DVR has been not being cool and hasn't been DVRing Wander Over Yonder for some reason.
Are you not caught up with it?
So I'm like really not, but I hear it's like getting really good, and I'm kind of disappointed.
Have you got to the
Lord
episodes
Dominator.
with Lord Dominator?
No, I'm like I have not seen any season 2.
Okay.
Dude,
I won't give that
Lord
away. then.
Dominator is.
I also missed. I totally missed the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon also.
Oh yeah.
Like I wanted to see that, and I just totally missed it. I'm a little disappointed. I should like find a way to get season 1 or something.
Are we going to 11 o'clock Eastern for this episode or?
Well, there's only 1 minute to 11.
Here, Diamond has a good one. What is a film you loved as a kid but you absolutely hate now?
I can't think of one actually.
Yeah. I just look back at it and be like, ah, that was funny. like like the Wizard or
Well,
Super Mario Brothers.
I'll say Episode 1 Star Wars. I was nuts over it. I loved every single bit of it. I loved every single bit of it. And then now it's like, because it's not a terrible film. It's just clunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Kevin Smith stuff I used to like a lot more when I was younger, and now I don't like as much.
Oh.
I just can't. I'm just not as into. I used to be so into it, and now I just like can't even watch it.
Oh.
Same with like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Used
Well,
to
I
be a
like
lot.
Clerks. Clerks, is
Clerks I'm fine
Yeah.
with, but Chasing Amy I don't like as much as
Oh, I haven't
used
seen that.
or Mallrats too.
What
But
about
like,
Dogma?
what was it? Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I used to really like that show,
Oh.
and now I'm kind of embarrassed of it.
Oh.
We used to be friends.
Ooh, Saber. We can talk about this.
Mhm.
Okay, last question for the night. The front porch asks, worst restaurant experience. The thing that happened at BaroniCon, like a couple of years ago. Remember?
Yeah, I remember. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
if there might have been one that could have topped that from me.
Where was that? Was that in Baltimore?
Yeah. It was at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh yeah, that Hard Rock Cafe fucking blows.
It does, and I mean, I worked.
I've been to that Hard Rock Cafe, so I know.
It sucks.
It
It sucks hard.
I waited an hour for a drink. Just a soda.
Like you can like
What?
make mistakes,
Yeah.
but like
How long
own
does
up
it
to
take
it.
to get your food.
I got my food. I'm not sure when I got it, but a lot of people like their drinks didn't really get to them until like an hour and a half later,
It was
and they've already
ridiculous.
gone. They're like,
Um,
let's leave, and they just left.
That's ridiculous. No, I've seen people do. I've had stuff like that. What I do is I never go back ever again.
Yeah.
Is people are like, why don't you leave a bad review? And I go, no, it's better if I just do not acknowledge them at all. Because you know how people say there's no publicity, even there's no such thing as bad publicity, but
It's for
there.
restaurants.
But you know what is bad publicity? Absolutely nothing. If people go, oh, we should go there, and I go, no, I don't. It doesn't exist to me. It's dead. That's the worst thing you can do.
Well, let me put it this way: there's a restaurant nearby called Dick's Last Resort, and their shtick is to be rude to their customers. They had much better service
Yeah.
than Hard Rock Cafe, because at least I got my orders, I got my food, I got my drinks, and I got some sass. No big deal; it's part of the gig. But Hard Rock Cafe, it's like I ordered these cheese sticks like 50 minutes ago, and I'm complaining about it, and you're getting angry at me for complaining about it. Like, if you're understaffed, shut down the fucking
Oh
restaurant.
wait, actually, I went to pick something up from an Applebee's, and it was a pretty simple order, and it took 45 minutes.
Wow.
And it wasn't even. It wasn't
too drunk to microwave your own food.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even like I was eating there. I called in advance, and I waited there. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's the end of the podcast.
Bye.
So
Just ended on that.
next time it'll be after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Before we leave, Saber and I will actually be at a convention this weekend.
Yes.
This coming weekend. We'll be in Milwaukee. So if you're around Milwaukee, Ponyville Cider Fest is going on between Friday and Sunday.
Check it out.
So if you're out, yeah, if you're around there, you can go see me and Saber, and Race will be there also. So, yeah, if you want to come.
Cool. I don't think I'll be here next podcast.
Oh,
Where are you gonna be?
The weekend after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think it's too busy that day, so I don't
All right.
think I'll be here. But I'll be
can't
here
talk
the
about it.
next time after.
We can't talk about Good Dinosaur then.
The one after. I don't think I would have seen it if I was on,
Oh, okay.
fortunately. You're like, oh, okay, we don't need you.
Oof. We'll bring in your backup. Where's Tom?
All right. So yeah. See you next time then. Bye.
Whoa.
Let's see if Peter cuts out on that one.
What was that?
I flipped off.
Shouldn't have said anything. You would have kept it in.